Most agents don't fail because real estate doesn't work. They fail because they jump from tactic to tactic, never committing long enough for anything to compound. Today, I'm going to show you the hard numbers on failure rates in 2024 and 2025 and why shiny penny syndrome is killing production, as well as the exact pillars you need to pick and stick with and the realistic timelines that actually produce deals. Starting with the states first, in 2024, 71% of active US agents closed 0 home sales. That's from a Redfin survey reported by Inman in February of 2025. NAR's own methodology paints a softer picture for 2023 with only 5% with 0 deals. But multiple internal reports and MLS trend reads for 2024 point the same direction. Well over 70% of agents did not record a single transaction last year. Median gross income ticked up to $58,100 in 2024, and the typical member completed 10 transactions, but understand what's happening. The middle held up while the bottom hollowed out. Real estate agency employment dropped to 397,200 by August of 2024, the lowest level of the cycle. And when we look at the long-term benchmarks, they just have not budged. It's still the same failure rates, with 75% of agents failing in year 1 and 87% of agents are gone by year 5. Turning our attention north of the border, Canada is not much better. Looking at Ontario in Q1, 2025 was absolutely brutal, with 66% of agents logging 0 transactions. When we look at the Toronto board, for example, 50,000 of 75,000 agents with no deals in Q1, and inactive agents doubled year over year. The board's headcount fell by 8% in a single renewal window, which is the steepest drop since 1991. Niagara sales were down 55% year over year. Appointments fell nearly 15% as well. The same pattern as the US, the market punished dabblers 100%. And that's why people really say that real estate has to be your full-time gig. When you are a part-time agent, it can be very, very hard for you to get that momentum, especially in markets like this, which are quite difficult and slow. If we're looking at why agents are really failing, these are some of the top reasons here. Not enough prospecting or business development, the easy money fantasy, thinking that real estate is easy and money is going to be coming out of your pockets immediately, and weak training or market knowledge is a big one as well. Add the obvious headwinds in terms of affordability, inventory constraints, rate resets, the new NAR rules down south, and insurance cases in states like California and Florida, and you've got a long sales cycle that demands real runway. But the core problem is simpler: shiny penny syndrome. Agents try door knocking for just 3 weeks, they jump to Facebook ads for a month, then start YouTube for 2 videos and quit. Nothing compounds. No channel gets the consistency required to hit the escape velocity. Budgets get burned, confidence tanks, and the pipeline never realizes its stability. But here's the reality on timelines if you actually commit. If you are looking at something like geographic farming, which is a more traditional method, you need to understand the output. This needs 6 to 12 months before the flywheel starts to turn. Minimum 12-month commitment before you reevaluate something like this. Most agents quit at month 3 or 4, right before familiarity and trust kick in. Social media, you need around 6 months of consistent posting to see meaningful results. That's 4 to 5 posts per week in terms of reels, plus carousels and stories. I know agents who stayed consistent for 6 months and landed 9 sales their first summer and kept compounding because of that consistency. And if door knocking is something that you're wanting to go into, it is a long game. Roughly 20% of doors turn into conversations, which from my experience is actually quite high. And then maybe 10% of those become leads, which again, I think that number is a little bit high as well. But again, it's going to be location specific. But that is after mid and long-term nurture. The win is pipeline creation, not instant listings. When it comes to sphere of influence, you also have to have some thick skin. Plan 30 to 40 touches per year. Done right, it becomes the most predictable, profitable pillar you have, but it's built over years and not weeks. If you're a new agent who's trying to get a profitability runway off the ground, plan up to 18 months to stabilize. You can see leads quickly. Lead to close is what takes time. When it comes to your business pillars, you need to pick 2 or 3 and just stick with them. You need to have some consistency and sign a 12-month contract with yourself on those pillars. One proximity pillar, such as geographic farming or door knocking, define the farm, hit it monthly, layer in quarterly pop buys and community events if you have the capacity. Non-negotiables for those 12 months. When it comes to door knocking, you're going to want to have a fixed route with fixed hours every week, tight talk track, and automatic follow-up. Obviously, with door knocking, you're going to want to be able to role play and have that scripting lined up. When it comes to inbound pillars such as short form and long form social content, with short form 3 to 4 reels per week, answer local buyer seller questions, one market hit in your specific area, and a property area tour or a deal of the week is something that can be very helpful for your audience. When it comes to long form, especially on YouTube, I would like you to do 2 a week. That's when I really started to see my trajectory grow up, but at least commit yourself to 1 weekly video that ranks for your city. Identify a problem, answer that problem, and repurpose to emails such as your email marketing systems like MailChimp. Every time I do a YouTube video, for example, I put that into all of my newsletters because it's just more added content that you can create and be top of mind. And when we look at relationship pillars, your sphere of influence should be one that is part of your business all the time. Try to build out 100 to 200 person core list and hit 30 to 40 touches per year. And they can come in the form of a monthly email, a quarterly mailer, a monthly social DM burst, birthdays, anniversaries, monitoring Facebook or Instagram, seeing if someone just got married or someone just had a baby. These are really easy touch points that don't have to be real estate focused, but it can keep you top of mind. When we look at rules of engagement, you want to have a minimum test window. In terms of social, you want to have a 6-month window where you are tracking your progress. Farming, like I mentioned, at least 12 months. And sphere of influence is something that you're going to want to continue on in this business forever. Track from day one, your leads, your appointments, signings, closings, cost per lead, cost per sign, cost per closing, follow-up system. All these items in terms of your tracking numbers are really going to be beneficial so you can actually make adjustments as needed and see if those pillars are really working. What gets measured gets tracked, and you have no idea if you're creating any momentum if you're not tracking these KPIs. Survivors are not just the luckiest or the loudest in this industry, they're the most consistent. The people in any type of environment, whether it's a professional athlete, whether it's someone in business, in real estate, whatever it is, it's not the big shiny options, it's the people who are committed to be 1% better every single day, and they're often the ones that do the boring, mundane things day after day after day, and they don't forget about it. They prospect whether they feel like it or not. They build that skill set. They understand contracts. They are highly educated in market knowledge and negotiation. So every at-bat counts. That way, when you are serving your clients, you can start to create a community that really goes to bat for you. But if you can't go to bat for yourself, how are you supposed to go to bat for your clients? You need to be an agent who serves others but does not sell. You need to be visible in your community, and you need to be detailed in terms of your follow-up and your note-taking. You train seriously, you're organized, and you respect your calendar. If you have something in your calendar, you need to adhere to it. And if you're not using your calendar, that's probably a big reason why you're not getting the business that you likely think you should. It is usually when we are in the mud and we're slogging through some of these items that we want to make a pillar of our business when we start to look at the valley of death, which is the shiny penny syndrome. When we are going through the mundane and things may not be going to plan as you thought, we often look at something for a quick fix and something that is very attractive to us that we can stop focusing on a pillar of our business and go to something to try to get that dopamine hit very quickly. There's always a valley of death for agents where you see high effort and little visible results in the mundane. And that's where shiny penny syndrome looks the most attractive. If you quit here, you start the next valley at zero. If you stay in the mundane, your face becomes familiar in that farm, your videos start ranking, your sphere of influence starts referring, and the compounding shows up exactly when most competitors disappear. And that's why it's so important to stay in those areas when you want to quit. The strategy isn't the problem, it's the commitment. Choose your 3 pillars, lock in the timelines, track the numbers, and follow up like a professional. Do this for 12 months and your odds look nothing like the 71% who closed nothing last year or the cohorts washing out after year 1. If you want my pillar plan and the exact follow-up cadence, drop pillars into the comments or reach out to me directly so that I can help you with those items. Now pick your 3 and get to work. Consistency beats shiny pennies every single time. And also, if you want to be involved with the community, I am part of a group called the Carbon Collective. You can book a call with me in the QR code or the link is is in the description below. We have guest passes that we hand out to any agent who want to see what we are all about for 14 days. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you reach out to me. And I hope this video helps you get on the right track to stay consistent, to close your deals and make yourself a long-lasting agent in the industry.